This is Jeremy Taggart from Our Lady Peace, and I'm at Popularity.
With each album, do you find it harder and harder to kind of reinvent Our Lady Peace?
I think it's not harder. I think the idea of just being a musician, it's just kind of what you do. You know, I think us as a band, we just try to keep ourselves inspired, throughout making records, and just kind of the reason why we're still together and still making records is because we enjoy that process.
What did you find to be the main challenges this time around?
I think the hardest thing on this record was just I guess the fact that we kind of were challenged a little bit more on a performance level through the way we recorded it. I mean, me personally, I had to play completely different, like a lot lighter and a totally different approach the way Jason later records. So it was a huge learning experience for everybody, and to try and still make a record that is different and in our minds better than the last. We just it was a little bit more difficult this time because we actually had to change, our style a bit.
When you went back to listen to the songs on Curve, did any of them surprise you in either a good or a bad way?
Not really. I think a lot of the ideas on this record wasn't necessarily surprising, but we were, happy because a lot of them were guitar based, and Steve came up with a lot of really cool riffs and stuff to work from. So surprised, no, but definitely, happy, and it made it a lot easier for sure.
Do you personally feel that this album is a continuation or a reaction to the last?
I think it's always a continuation, and I think your continuation as a musician is kind of always a reaction on the last thing anyway. We always make records based on our own environment and, as fans of music, so I guess in a sense that's a reaction.
At this point, does music just happen?
Well, no, you have to work towards it. And again, us being four individual people that all have kind of different tastes, there's always an element of challenging that goes around the room. It's definitely. I wish it was that easy that it just happened, but no, we spent a lot of different, a lot of different sessions in the last two years to try and get where we're at, and it was a challenge, that's for sure.
How did you, when you had a collection of songs, know it was the album? Is it just a feeling you get, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think on this record we definitely relied on our gut more than since our first record, to be honest. Which is kind of relieving, in a sense, because the ideas kind of can become as exciting as they want to be, as opposed to trying to fit them into a formula or a box or whatever.
Can you compare your career now to when it first started out? Is there a big difference in the way that you approach music?
No, not at all. I mean, I know more about music, but I mean, I still have the same thirst, for learning, and I still enjoy my instrument at the same level. So, I think that's why we're happy, is because we haven't really changed our mindset from the first record.
Do you find that when you perform songs that they evolve or change with each time that you play them? Do songs grow?
Well, it's time. When I play music, I'm just playing that song or that groove or whatever. It doesn't really change. So just playing, period, is all I need to get, what I need to do.
What kind of expectations do you set for yourself now when you're creating music?
Again, we're, all kind of pushing each other all the time. And when we're in the studio, it's just the process of elimination, in a sense, of, when you're getting everything together. So, again, you rely on that instinct, and I guess after 8 records, you got to trust that instinct even more.
At this point and after so many records, what do you value most about the band?
Being together still, you know, the fact that we're still able to just be a band. That's the biggest thing.
Is there a song on the album that was the hardest to create?
No, I mean this was the hardest, just for sure. Uh, um, in terms of song, I think the whole album across the board was just, you know, a very challenging record for us, and there was nothing specific, but I think just overall we kind of all had our arms behind our back at some level, and that again, uh, that's why we did learn a lot on this record, and why it was a positive experience. You know, made us better.
Do you find that it's sometimes hard to retrieve yourself from the dark places that you have to go to create music?
I don't think it's, you know, it's not dark. There's no like dark in terms of like uncreative and bad. It's more, I think anytime something is dark, it's pretty obvious why it is, and it's usually, you know, maybe just trying to get something right.
What would you say are a couple of your personal highlights from the album?
I really enjoyed Rabbits, and Fire in the Henhouse is cool and fun to play. And If This Is It, it's another one.
Is it just because they're fun to play, or is there more to it than that?
Well, I think I just like the songs, you know, more fun to play, but I also just like how they came together.
Do you see making music as something that's magical?
Oh, absolutely, yes, of course. And playing music is the connection to playing music is just as unexplainable as, you know, faith. Period. You know, whether you have the option to believe in it or not, and I definitely believe in the magic of music and the power of communication and energy and all of those great things.
Good music is like an onion because it has many layers to it. What do you think of that statement?
Well, I think, you know, this record has a lot of layers just because we kind of played with the sonic elements. You know, we kind of added a little more synthesizers and kind of old school analog sound just to fill out things, and kind of in a you know, kind of harkens back to the Spiritual Machines kind of ambience, you know. But I definitely, I think we were trying to go for something that had a little more levels of layers, so you know, you can enjoy the songs a few times through without getting sick of them.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge as an artist personally?
Just getting better on your instruments. It's up to you as an individual to challenge yourself, and the bigger the challenge, you know, the more important everybody should kind of push themselves. And I think the biggest challenge for me is just getting better.
Any final thoughts? Anything that you'd like to say to the Readers of Popularity?
Just like I said earlier, we're, you know, really happy to be still doing this on this level, and you know, it's a great opportunity to be able to play in a band after, you know, 18 years. It's one of the best feelings there is.